Welcome back, guys. So as you can see, we got all the profile work done on the ribbons and the Winkler tomahawks, and we got a quarter-inch spiral upcut, got a big line around it. Now this is going to be a little different power carving because I can't get my grinding wheel in here. It's just too close to this other stuff. I just don't want to do it. So I'm not 100% sure how far we're going to take it down. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with a Fordham, and we have a coarse, this is a Kutzall burr. Yeah, a coarse burr. And we're going to kind of start in these areas, and we're just going to start cutting stuff and see how it looks. See what we decide we come up with. So yeah, that's that.
Okay,
that's what we're doing. Kind of making it up as we go along. All right, so I got my rubber gloves because this thing will take your skin off in a heartbeat.
Your rubber gloves, yeah.
Leather gloves.
Rubber, leather.
Whatever.
Tissue
all the same.
paper, whatever.
Yeah. You know, whatever works. 38, 39. All right. I don't like wearing this thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start in kind of a big area because I don't want to get too close until I'm more comfortable with it.
Yeah, I would start out somewhere where where you're not going to have any issues.
Yeah.
You need to move closer to the end of the bench.
Yeah, probably. All right, here we go. So what we decided to do is we're going to take the angle grinder with the Kutzall medium disc, and we're going to try to take out as much as we can of the big stuff. This is walnut, and this is a hard wood. So to do everything with the Fordham is kind of like fighting a forest fire with a squirt gun. It's going to be quite an ordeal. So we're going to start with the medium disc, the medium cuts-all disc on the disc grinder, and angle grinder. I gotta write this stuff down. It's getting ridiculous. And we're going to take out everything we can, and I'm just going to be really super careful. So we're going to film a little bit of it, but this is going to be a slow process. So here we go. Let's do it. So I think that the angle grinder, sorry, I just blew powdery sawdust all over everybody. So I think the angle grinder is the best way to go. I'm going to get everything I can with that first and just make sure not to get too close to anything here. So I'm going to go around, finish the rest of this up off camera, get all the big stuff I can out of the way, and then when we come back, we're going to figure out what we're going to do next. So this is what we've got so far, guys. I used the angle grinder with the disc, and I took down pretty much everything I was comfortable doing without getting too close. You know, there's a couple little nicks, but we'll fix those. But I was playing around with different textures and stuff, trying to figure out exactly what I was going to do, and I think I found it. I really like this look here. We're not doing a pour on this. We're just doing a lot of clear coats. So I like how this is gouged around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this one look like this. Now this is a really, really hard board. This is walnut. So I'm really going to take my time. I'm going to get a little bit of this done and then see how long it takes to get this gouge look. So let's get to it. All right, here we go. Let's move this. So you guys can kind of get a good idea. Sorry.
No turn.
So you guys can kind of get a good idea of what I'm going for here. I think it's a kind of a cool look here. So again, this is going to take a lot of time to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through with the Fordham, and I'm going to take all this out here, and this is going to take several hours, and then texture this part. And when I come back, all the power carving will be done, and then we're going to move on to the next step. So stick with us, guys. Welcome back, guys. So as you can see, we got all of the power carving done. I think it looks really cool. I'm pretty happy with it. I like the big groove around all of the letter, or all of the outset stuff. And then I just gave the rest of it texture. I didn't take it down too far, just because I kind of like the way this looks. I like the depth on the outset stuff, and then I wanted everything to be textured. I didn't want it smooth. So what we're gonna do, as you guys can see, we got a lot of cracks here, you know, and I was concerned me a little bit at first, but then we decided we're gonna take the Starbond, the medium thick black. Can you see that, Dad?
Yep.
And we're gonna do all the cracks in black. And that's going to give it these kind of aggressive looking black lines randomly throughout the whole sign. So if we already did the back right here, and we got all this taken care of, so that way nothing falls through. Even though this is pretty thick, I don't think it's going to fall through, but just in case. So what we're going to do is, you guys can see that I did this one here, but what you might not be able to see on camera is, even though I use the accelerator, this is a big thick crack, so it fell in a little bit. So we might have to do a couple passes on some of these big ones. We'll put some Starbond in there, hit it with the accelerator, and if it falls through, then we're just going to put another line on there and cover it again and hit it with the accelerator again. That way when we sand it off, it'll be flat. It kind of creates like a dam in there. So let's get started. Oh, also, you can see like right here. Can you see that, Dad?
Mm-hmm.
See how, like, as I carved this crack got kind of filled in. So what you want to do, I'm just using my pocket knife. And I just want to kind of clear that out a little bit. Just to get that stuff out of there to make sure that the Starbond seeps in there pretty good. And it doesn't matter. Again, this is all, I like the rough cut stuff. I'm not big on super smooth or anything. So if you make it a little bit bigger, it's not that big a deal. And then we're taking this stiff bristled like plastic or nylon brush, whatever it is, and we're just kind of clearing it out a little bit. Just like that. So I got my medium thick Starbond, and I have a real thin cut tip right there to make sure that, especially down here, because there's going to be overflow, and in order to fix this overflow, we're going to have to recarve some of it. But I don't want it to be so much that we're going to have a big divot, like right in here, and then the rest looks like this. So here we go. Let's see, I'll start with this one here. Yeah, my hand's kind of in the way. Now the flat stuff, I'm not too worried about overflow because that's easy enough to sand. Once we do that, hit it with the accelerator. And again, it might go down. We're going to double check and whatever. If there's anywhere it's not even with the surface, once we hit it with the accelerator, that creates a little bit of a dam in there, so it's not going to keep seeping through. And the next run, it'll be a lot flatter once we sand it off. These are some pretty good sized cracks in here.
I think that's actually a good thing, though, if you want that dramatic look of those black streaks randomly through the board, then it's good that they're pretty good size,
I think so too. And I think it is going to give it a really cool, well, like you said, dramatic look. And this is going to take some time. This whole sign really, I mean,
how many hours do you think you have in it right now at this point?
That's a tough one. Maybe, I don't know, what do you think? 5, 6, something like that?
Yeah, I would say probably pushing 5. There's a lot of Fordham work there. The router work, not so much, but
yeah, the router work was pretty quick.
But a lot of the power carving stuff, that's where the time.
Yeah, because even though I took the outside out with the grinding disc, getting in here and trying to get everything kind of even with the outset stuff.
Well, even and the way you use your piece there, each one of these was a bite. It wasn't like you went all the way through. Each one of these was an individual bite, almost like a kind of my dimple background with the it's very time consuming. Each one was a kind of a bite in itself.
Right. It was an individual movement each piece. It as I was doing it, it kind of reminded me of like whittling. Like if I had a chisel or something and I was actually whittling.
Yeah.
So
I really like it though. I really love that jagged, rough look like that.
Yeah, me too. And that was kind of the whole thing. I mean, that's an aggressive logo, and those Winkler tomahawks are pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
So I wanted this whole thing. See, now this looks like there's a little bit in there, so I'm just gonna make sure and I brush all of that stuff out. And then there's going to be some spots, like this is probably going to be one of them right here, where the crack actually goes all the way down from the flat area. I don't know if you can see this, if I need to kind of tip it up. But the crack goes from the flat area, and it goes down towards there. So we're probably going to have to take the profile bit and just kind of shave off any overflow that comes out of this part here.
Yeah.
So it's tedious and it's time consuming, but I don't know. I enjoy it.
The overall effect is going to be cool, though.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome, man. I really pretty excited about seeing the end product. But see, that's one thing that I struggle with, guys, and I've mentioned it before. I want to see the end product so bad that sometimes I rush stuff and I make mistakes, and then Dad has to come rescue me. So I'm trying to learn that that's probably not the best way to do it.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to walk away and come back and, start fresh.
Yeah. So now we'll do one in here. So that accelerator, you can see, like Dad, if you could pan over here, can you guys see? Can you see in there how that fell in?
Yeah.
So this is all dry now because that accelerator, but it fell in. So at the second pass, that accelerator should have created a bit of a dam. Now we do a second pass.
It's filled in more. It looks like you still might have to do a third or a fourth, but
yeah,
it's going to just keep building up.
And that's all right. That's the thing is, like, again, when you're rushing just to see the finished product, the final product, you're not going to get the final result you want. You want to take your time and make sure you do it right. And I'm talking to myself here, guys, not you. So
and then you don't end up with a lot of bloopers where there might be some phrases that you have to bleep out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean,
it's possible.
That doesn't happen to us, but, it could to some people. Alright, so you guys get the general idea on that, and I'm probably going to have to go through, even like that one's pretty deep still. Going to have to go through.
You plan on then doing that part too then?
Yeah.
And so, but then you'll almost have to kind of maybe tip it up on edge? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, because I don't want it to fall, even though this is medium thick, I don't want it to fall and puddle in there. So,
right.
In fact, let's do that real quick. Go this way.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we should be able to get the camera angle on that. Yeah.
I think that'll work.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, that's what Dad's here for, to help me out.
Yeah.
There we go. And there's a couple other small ones here. This accelerator, man. Well, the Starbond stuff in general is just fantastic, but the accelerator really helps. Alright, so now we're going to do probably the toughest one on the whole sign, and that's going to be this one. But again, guys, because it's rough cut and it's not all perfectly smooth, it's not going to be too hard to fix any overflow. I think that'll be okay.
See, most of the projects I've done, to be honest, have been smooth. I've been doing smooth backgrounds because that's kind of what I like. But this particular one, I love what you're doing there as far as the jaggedness, because that just kind of goes right along with the whole feeling of the sign.
Yeah, it's an aggressive sign.
And James Reese is an aggressive guy.
James Reese is an aggressive guy. Again, you guys, if you like to read or you like to listen to books, check out the Terminal List series. There's 5 books coming out, And
There's
again,
4 already out and 1 more on the way.
Yeah, 1 more on the way. It's let's see, it's the Terminal List, True Believer, Savage Sun, the Devil's Hand, and then In the Blood is coming out next. And man, they're just, I've listened to each one, except for In the Blood, because that's not out yet, but I've listened to each one at least 4 or 5 times. So you guys can kind of, well, actually here, let's do this one again. That all seeped in pretty good. Let's make sure. Okay. Got a little bit more puddling down here than I would like, but I don't think that's going to be an issue with the Fordham coming in and taking that stuff out. I really don't.
Yeah, you just got some work to do.
Yeah.
But you're getting there.
So you guys can see what we're doing here. I'm going to have to make, probably going to have to make multiple passes just to make sure that all this builds up and is even with the flat. Because I'm going to sand these off. Obviously, I'm going to use the, I'll probably end up, I don't know if I'm going to use the disc grinder or the random orbital. But this is hard wood. So I want, once I sand this off, I want to make sure that my glue, that the cracks, the lines that are in there, are going to be even with the wood. I don't want them to be down inside. I want it to be even. I think that's going to look a lot better.
Well, that's going to be necessary too, because you're going to carve some inset letters on there.
Oh,
and
that's right.
then you're going to be spraying those black. So you've got to have everything surface-wise.
Yeah.
It's got to be perfectly flat. You can't have any indentions, otherwise those are going to end up black when you spray, right?
Yep, that's right.
So they got to be. So you've got to have this stuff, what I call proud to the front, which is higher.
Yeah.
So that when you sand it down, then it's perfectly flat.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
That's exactly.
It's not as important down in here.
No.
But up here it's very important because this is going to be where you put your lettering.
Yeah. So that's it for this video, guys. This is it's a long project. So hopefully we will be able to. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Hopefully we'll be able to finish it up on the next video. So as always, guys, we really appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate all the support. You can check out all of our products that we sell, except for the Jack Carr logo. We're not selling that. Copyrighted. You can check everything out on makeawoodsign.com. If you have any questions, you can email me, Ryan with davesigns@gmail.com, or Dad, Eric at makeawoodsign.com. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that little bell icon. Ding. That was lame.
That was good. It worked for Rocky and Apollo.
That's right.
So
round 1. No bell. Ding, ding.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.